Maybe it's fun, fine, maybe it's a movement, but be prepared to lose 80 to 90% of it, and if it's still worth it, then have at it. But the biggest loss of capital here will be the human capital of young men who are sitting and staring at their phone and watching the price of Bitcoin or the price of AMC. And ask yourself, would you be better off taking that 1, 2, or 3 hours a day and working out, trying to form relationships with mentors, with romantic relationships, with people at work, getting great at something so you can be the person on the other side of the trade? The greatest loss in capital here is from young men who are more prone to gambling addiction, who don't understand the markets. I think we are setting ourselves up similar to how there's a ton of young women out there who became very depressed by sitting in their rooms looking at Instagram. Self-cutting and self-harm skyrocket. I think you are going to see an explosion in young male depression, and I think a lot of it is going to be reverse engineered to apps that convince you you're part of a movement or physically addict you to your phone. Ask yourself, would your time staring at Robinhood be better spent somewhere else? That is the real capital destruction that is taking place.
The Elon pump was short-lived, but it may have been a clue as to what we should expect out of Bitcoin as we begin the month of February. Now, we could be looking at much higher highs in Bitcoin's near future, but there are some potentially very bearish signs that are telling us we could be in store for another big market crash. Now, XRP pumped like crazy last night, only to dump as soon as it passed the 75 cents level. But is this just a short-term correction, or will the XRP Telegram group pump keep this bull rally alive? All this and more in today's episode, so make sure you stick around until the end because this market is heating up and you do not want to miss out on these incredible opportunities.
Self-destruct sequence activated. 3, 2, 1.
Is this your homework, Larry?
Ask him about the car, man.
Is this yours, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Is that your car out front?
Is this your homework, Larry?
We know it's his fucking homework. Where's the fucking money, you little brat?
All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Johnny here. Let's jump right into today's episode. So we'll start with Bitcoin. This is the daily chart. We briefly mentioned in the intro about the Elon pump. We got a nice little pump, which actually took price action outside of this falling wedge, and we've been holding some pretty nice support here, just above the 21 daily EMA, which is not pictured here. We'll get to that, but above this upper trend line, letting us know that we could be looking at a breakout to the upside here fairly shortly, and if we do, that gives us a measured move target of just over $53.8 thousand, an 83% move from where the Bitcoin price broke out or last touched this lower trend line. So we're looking at a potential 61% move from where the Bitcoin price is right now. So things are looking fairly strong here. You know, we are holding support, like I said, on this upper trend line, and we are looking for the breakout to this measured move target here just above the $53.8 thousand level. Now we're keeping a close eye on volume to see if we get another nice volume spike, which in theory would take us up to that measured move. So there are some bearish things that we really need to pay attention to. So one of them being the DXY. So this is the DXY daily chart. I'm a bit zoomed in here. Let me actually get rid of this oval here. The DXY was in this bullish reversal pattern, this inverse head and shoulders here, and it does appear to be breaking out. Now, this is a very crucial line of resistance here that we are getting the move across out of the DXY, and the next thing we are looking for is a push across this upper trend line and possibly above this 236 Fibonacci retracement, which would not be good for the markets in general, not just cryptocurrency. This would mean that the dollar is getting some significant strength due to a higher demand, letting us know that there may be some selling going on. There is a lot of buzz right now about the potential of a market crash this week or in the very near future. And from what the DXY is showing us right here, that's letting us know that that is a very, very real possibility. So, you know, if the DXY does break across here, We are looking at it continuing at least up to the 200 daily EMA, which is right up here, about 93.3% on the index, a 2.64% move out of the DXY. And if you remember, in just about every episode, we do talk about the inverse correlation between Bitcoin and the DXY. Every 1% move up out of the DXY, we get about a 10 to 15% move down out of Bitcoin. And the reverse is true also. For every 1% move down, we get about a 10 to 15, sometimes a 20% move to the upside out of Bitcoin and GBTC alike. So, the DXY is letting us know that we could be looking at a bearish scenario here for Bitcoin in the very near future. And there are some other things we have to look at as well. So, ETH market cap dominance, it seems to be recovering a bit here. USDT dominance is still hovering down below this rising wedge. So we did get the breakout here. We are looking for this bearish retest confirmation, which would bring it up another 1%, which would be felt in the Bitcoin price as a falling price. So if we look at Bitcoin to market cap dominance here, this has been trending to the upside for quite some time. We got this nice massive breakout of this, and it actually hurt altcoins when it did break out, but then we got the move to the downside. Looking at this now, I'm looking at this huge wick to the downside, which would have brought Bitcoin market cap dominance back inside of this reversal pattern, but it does seem to be holding support here right at about 63, 62% on the index. What we may actually see is if this continues pushing further to the upside, we may see altcoins actually take a hit. And just because just because Bitcoin dominance is pushing to the upside, that does not necessarily mean that we are looking at an increase in price out of Bitcoin. It could actually mean that we are actually falling in price and investors are moving their money out of altcoins into Bitcoin and then to fiat. So let's go ahead and take a peek here at the overall market cap. Again, same thing. We did get the breakout of this contracting triangle. It's holding support here in what should be a pretty bullish continuation pattern. We are looking for an 80% move out of the total market cap as well, taking us up to the $1.7 trillion level. Now we have been, going above and below the $1 trillion level here in the total market cap, and it's really kind of been indecisive. This is the 8-hour chart. If we zoom back out to the daily, you can see it looks a bit more bullish. So if we do go up and meet the measured move out of this breakout of this continuation pattern, again, we're looking for an 80% move out of both the Bitcoin and the total market cap. So let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500, really because, it's very possible that if the dollar continues to gain strength, then we are looking at some bearish price movement out of the entire market. This is the S&P 500, and historically, Bitcoin has had a very close correlation to the S&P 500. And I'll be honest, guys, the S&P 500, that's a 3x bonus in one freaking paragraph. Anyways, the S&P 500 is looking very, very bearish. If we zoom back out to the weekly chart, and we've spoken about this quite a bit in other videos, you can see we did get the break to the downside out of this rising wedge. And if we take a look at the RSI, we have a very significant bearish divergence, letting us know that if this does continue to the downside, we are looking at about a 26% correction out of the S&P 500. So let's go ahead and zoom back into the 4-hour. If we look at the 4-hour, you can see very clearly here that we are getting this bearish confirmation retest of this lower trend line. It looks like it did come up and retest. We may be looking for further downside here in the very short term, which ironically would correspond with a gain in strength out of the DXY, letting us know that we should be watching our positions pretty closely and we could be looking at a short-term Bitcoin correction. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at another Bitcoin chart here. Not that one or that one. How about this one? So this is another 8-hour chart. This continuation or reversal pattern that we are in does appear to be a bit of a bull pennant. You can call it a bit of a triangle. It really depends on where you start your ABCD. But what we are looking at here, we got a break across this upper resistance, and the price is holding fairly well above here. And if you can see by this green line, this is the 21 daily EMA. We have been bouncing off of it and under it occasionally. We got this nice double bottom here, and we are looking for a break to the upside. So if we do get a volume confirmed breakout across this neckline of this double bottom, then we are looking for at least a push up to the top trend line of this triangle, bull pennant, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. It really can, depending on how you draw it, it could be either of the three. So if we get a movement to the downside, which would be the lower trend line of this triangle, that would take us to just under 30K. And if we do break that level, then we're looking for a move down to at least 27K. And if we break below that, we are looking at probably a $22,000, $23,000 Bitcoin if the market is going to correct like it's looking like it just might. Again, this is the 8-hour chart. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. We'll go 2-hour. 2-hour, again, you know, here's the Elon pump after we broke out here, came up, and then we got almost an immediate sell-off here. And then this does look like it could be an inverse head and shoulders here on lower time frames, which is a bullish continuation or reversal pattern. So we are looking for the push up here to at least 35, 36K. And then if we come up and test this upper trend line, we're looking at a 38.2K Bitcoin. And if we do finally break that resistance level, that would put us technically back into the parabolic structure for Bitcoin. But we are looking at some heavy resistance here. You can see this logarithmic growth curve just over 40K, and I do have this line of, it's really a heart line for this entire parabolic trend. It's got the most touches right there, so it's been a pretty convenient and pretty accurate teller of where the price may be headed to. So we got the break below, we've come up, we broke across with that short Elon pump, but price immediately corrected back into this pattern. So here, this curved line here, it's this very thin dotted line. This would be the parabolic structure trend line here, letting us know that when we do break in and out of that parabola structure, we could be looking at the correction, and if we break back into it, we could be looking at a pretty significant pump out of the Bitcoin price. So what I'm doing right now is I'm not looking to enter into any trades at the moment. It's really just a sit and wait time right about now. We are waiting to see if we can break any of these critical levels of resistance and show some serious strength. But again, you know, after we looked at the DXY, it is not looking very strong, and it is letting us know that the dollar could be getting some strength, letting us know that people may be selling their Bitcoin very, very soon. So that's where we're at with that. Let's go ahead and take a look here at XRP. If we zoom into the 2-hour, we can see we did get a very, very, very nice pump last night, only to be followed by a significant sell-off here. So what I'm honestly thinking is that this pump group may have been just organized from people that took a fairly hard hit out of XRP when it fell from its previous highs just before the SEC news came out. And you can see that was a pretty significant correction there. And it looks like it may just be an escaped attempt out of some people holding some significant bags of XRP. So if you participated in this group and you did not take profits up here, I can't say I'm sorry, because honestly, XRP is the definition of a shit coin. It's the banker's coin. I loathe XRP. I rarely hold it, but I did make a nice profit off of XRP during this pump last night. So if it breaks this 202-hour EMA down here at 32, 33 cents, then we are likely looking at much further continuation to the downside out of XRP. But if you're trading this, to be honest, I mean, I really wouldn't, but we could be forming a falling wedge possibly here, letting us know that we could be looking at a pretty significant move to the upside out of XRP if it does in fact break this falling wedge pattern to the upside. So we'll see. I mean, XRP, again, it's not my favorite crypto, but if it can make you some more Bitcoin in the short term, maybe hopping on this XRP pump isn't such a bad idea. But all right, guys, let's take one more look at Bitcoin. Again, here's this Bitcoin chart looking for the breakout here of this upward trend line, and we are holding support. So one thing you could do is you could wait for a breakout here. If price starts moving aggressively to the upside, maybe buying in on a retest of a moving average would not be a terrible idea. But right now, you know, it's probably safer to just wait, preserve your capital, and wait for the next prime opportunity to enter into a Bitcoin trade. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for dropping in. And if you haven't yet visited our website, go check it out at 3candlecollective.com. If you're new to trading, new to crypto, and you want to learn how to be profitable in this market and not just hand your money over to the most experienced people here, take our course. You can go onto the website again at 3candlecollective.com and request more information. I'm about 50% of the way through creating the entire course right now. So when it's completed, we will run some specials and we will give away some free pass access to the course. So sit tight. We're working on it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again. Peace.